Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Campus Views. September 22nd through the 28th marks the Banned Books Week of 2013. The Kirkwood Library has their own display of banned books that will have been deemed inappropriate in some cultures and countries. We went around campus to ask students the question, what is your favorite banned book and why?
Definitely Catcher in the Rye. I like his story, Holden trying to make sense of the world, not liking it, and then I don't know, him getting sent to the asylum at the end is funny for me.
To Kill a Mockingbird, and because of the racial controversy.
Well, I have a lot of favorite controversial books, but my favorite is The Catcher in the Rye. And why? It was really the first book I ever loved. It had been, my brother was older than me. He was in high school, and he had been assigned to read this book. That would have been about in 1968 or 1969. So it was back then, it was really quite a controversial thing to be reading in high school. But I was in junior high, and I found this book, and I read it. I just, from the very first sentence, I just loved everything about the book.
The Catcher in the Rye.
And why?
I don't know, I had to read it during school, so I guess I was forced to read it, and then I kind of liked it.
50 Shades of Grey. I just like it. I think it's really interesting, and obviously it's got a lot of stuff in it that some people could find controversial, but I really enjoyed reading it, so.
Banned book is Fahrenheit 451, and because it was a very controversial book at the time, and it was very futuristic and kind of explaining how society could become. So I think that make it really interesting.
It would have to be Catcher in the Rye, mainly because at first I didn't realize that the main character in the book had mental issues. And so I had to read it once the first time and then another time to actually understand what it was about.
That's all we have for this edition of Campus Views. Be sure to check out more from Kirkwood Student Media at kirkwoodstudentmedia.com.